First of all, I want to thank so many of you. I see friends, I see artists, I see folks from Platform, and thank you to Peter for letting us come into this space because I'm sure some of you said, Rochelle, what the heck are we doing in a construction zone? And that's because as Mayor Mike Duggan is not changing the city, he's transforming the city neighborhood by neighborhood, and I want art to be a part of every single neighborhood. So this building, as this co-working art space and art center and everything else it's going to be, represents that. So you're going to see a lot of that going on. You're going to be able to call me about it because I give my cell phone to everyone. And Mr. Mayor, it's actually been 9 months this week, and I'm ready to birth this baby. We are Detroit. We have been many things through the years, usually dictated by circumstance, industry, or people. We've been the Motor City in honor of the auto industry. We've been the arsenal of democracy in honor of our contributions to turn the tide in World War II. We've been Motown in honor of one man's dream to create a record company that defined a sound of young America that would last for decades. Now it's time for us to remember that through all of those other incarnations, we have been something else, a city of the arts. People around the world celebrate our music, our art, our style, our fashion, our fierceness. They want to be us, but we forget to be us. We need to relearn how fabulous we are, to be proud of the genius that exists here, to be comfortable bragging about it, comfortable celebrating it. We've been so busy fighting against tides that we forget to celebrate wins. Today, we begin celebrating the wins. And that means celebrating the world-class talent and the stellar programs that the rest of the world knows exist here. And for anyone who doesn't know, I plan to tell them. The Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship has not been created to reinvent the wheel. We exist to grease the wheel, to be a warrior on behalf of our creative communities and our creative industry. We'll be doing that 3 ways: space, promotion, and training. We plan to use arts and culture as catalysts for neighborhood growth by supporting existing and new art houses across the city, hosting neighborhood arts fellows to help guide artistic vision in the neighborhoods the city is transforming, and we're going to conduct that artist census that Shifi mentioned. If Shifi wants to be counted, every artist ought to be counted. And we're going to do a full-out branding and marketing campaign to shout our greatness to the world. We're going to raise funds to provide entrepreneurial training and financial literacy lessons for artists so they can make a living on their craft. And I want every artist in this city to own their own name on the web and to have a website. No matter who you are, people ought to be able to look, find you, and know you're from Detroit. Those things will be followed by many more initiatives, all in support of city arts. You have the whole plan. Don't think we're doing all of this tomorrow. But I wanted you to hear what I heard from listening tours that I took around the city to every district, from taking meetings with more than 100 artists in my office with the orange walls, and from talking to people who have been doing this for a long time. So how are we going to pay for it? As you heard in the video, in addition to the generosity of our community heroes, the foundations and CEOs and art supporters who have always funded Genius, we have created the City of Detroit Arts Fund, which will accept tax-deductible donations to fund arts and culture. Yes, you heard that right. Tax-deductible donations. Say that with me. Tax-deductible donations. The guide for giving is in the back of the donor book that you have, and we're seeking, who is that? And we're seeking founding donors of the Arts Fund, those special people who will give major gifts or give first. The ACE office is joining the TCF Center's open call for an artist to build a signature sculpture in front of the TCF Convention Center. The names of the founding donors to the Detroit Arts Fund, which accepts tax-deductible donations, will appear on that major piece of art forever in front of the Convention Center, right in the heart of downtown. So I'm at this point proud to announce that we have our first donor to the City of Detroit Arts Fund, Carla Walker Miller and Walker Miller Energy. I could not be proud, yes, please. Carla and her family, who all work with her, are out of the state, but she wanted me to tell you that she was happy to do it, and I could not be prouder and cannot be more hopeful that she will be joined by dozens, no hundreds, of other CEOs and supporters and friends. But we want everyone, and I mean everyone, to pitch in. We're accepting those tax-deductible donations from everyone around the state because so many people around the state are born here, grew up here, or come here to visit. Last time we came together as a state, it was to create a grand bargain connected to bankruptcy and saving the art at the DIA. This is our second grand bargain, to not just celebrate and support artists and arts programs and arts education for our public school students, but also to support treasures like the DIA and the Wright Museum and the others that you'll see listed in the book that are our treasures. We're going to ask every man, woman, and child to give to the Arts Fund. Then we'll ask Metro Detroit businesses, large and small, to round up for the arts, allowing customers to pay the next highest amount for what they buy, whether it's groceries to jackets, to the Arts Fund. So if you buy something for $1.50 or $1.75, you would pay $2. One thing you won't have to wait for, though, is our first big event. So I'd like to, at this point, introduce Michael Dinwiddie, Detroit native, past president of the Black Theater Network, who's going to tell you about that. Read all about it.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me okay? No? All right, this is better, right? Well, I want to say, first of all, I'm so glad to be here, but I want to ask a question. How many artists are in the room? Look around, Detroit. Look around. This is a remarkable and wonderful. Detroit will become theater town from July 24th through August 2nd. Closer, right here? All right. Detroit will become theater town from July 24th through August 2nd when 2 national conferences and the 48 Hours in Detroit Play Project happen here. The Black Theater Network will be in residence first and then followed by the Association for Theater and Higher Education. That's July 24th through August 1st. And then we have a really remarkable thing happening. It's called 48 Hours in Detroit. It actually happened here before. You have 3 days, you have 3 plays, and they're created over that time with the writers and directors. Harlem 9 will be sponsoring that project. The 3 groups will bring a combined total of more than 1,000 conference attendees to our city. So they're going to, university professors, scholars, actors, students, and technicians from all across the country to Motown. Now, a special celebration is planned on Monday, July 27th. That just happens to be Woody King's 83rd birthday, and we're going to celebrate Woody King and Concept East Theater and New Federal Theater, along with the Fisher Theater. We're going to celebrate other artists in Detroit who've made this city incredible. And there's going to be performances. We're going to have entertainers and artists like local music hall jazz cafe chanteuse Chris Lynn, who's been performing in Detroit clubs for 50 years. Detroit has many, many people who are hidden in its little spots. The Detroit to Broadway celebration will be a culmination of a conference that includes 3 theater performances, acting, directing, and writing workshops for students, and special events for residents. Now, I have to say, Gary Anderson is here, and in 1993, he was one of the planners of the conference. 1993, BTN came to Detroit. That's how long ago it was. They brought August Wilson here. We plan to bring people of that caliber back to our city. And I say our city because I'm from Detroit. So, now, this is a very special thing because after all that, Rochelle is promising she's going to host a dinner for us. So I just want to make sure we're all invited to that. You saw the artists in the room. And we couldn't do any of this without the generous support of our sponsoring presenter, Walker Miller Energy, and support from the DTE Energy Foundation. And special, special thanks to our partners at Wayne State University, John Wolfe, Chair of the Maggie Alice C. Department of Theater and Dance, Belisha Hines, Artistic Director of the Black Theater and Dance Collective, because you can't do theater without a stage, and Wayne State is giving us their Hillberry Theater for this whole production. Lynetta R. Smith, Department Supervisor, and Dr. Matthew Seeger, Dean of the College of Fine, Performing, and Communication Arts at Wayne State. And Mr. Mayor, please don't run for president. We want you right here in Detroit, helping to make our city great again. You're shining a bright light on the arts, and no city deserves it more. Thank you.
So even though you're all here, and I'm so glad that you're here, it's also still a press conference, so I do need to say this and then open it up for questions. Nothing that's happening right now in this full room, and nothing that's going to be happening over the next year to 3 years that's going to be fantastic could happen without the vision and persistence of my mayor, the mayor, Mike Duggan. I cannot tell you enough what it means to me to be able to be let loose. He has not asked me what I'm doing. He is not micromanaged. I don't know if he even knows everything that's in this book, but he said, go do your thing, so that's what we're going to be doing. So I want to thank him at this point and also ask him to come up. So if you do have questions for either of us, I know he's got another event, we can answer questions for a few minutes. And then I want you to enjoy this space because there will be more announcements coming about this great building in this neighborhood in the future. Before I do that, though, I also want to recognize our city council members. I know that Councilman Roy McAllister, my friend, is here, but we also have representing Janae Ayers, Gwen Scales, who's also the president of the Entertainment Commission. If there are other members of the Entertainment Commission here, could you please stand? Are there other council members? I've heard from everybody, so I think I'm good. And then, Donna, you're here representing Walker Miller Energy. I want you to stand on behalf of Carla because I'm thrilled that Walker Miller decided to be our first donor to the Arts Fund. And we're accepting checks today if anybody feels moved to write one right now, because you will see me for the next 6 months begging for money, but it's not for me or my fabulous clothes. It is for our artists. As Michael said, no city deserves more what's about to happen, and we're going to turn it out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mayor, do we have questions? Dan, anybody back there? Are you guys good?
Anything you want to add, Roy?
No, please.
Only thing I can say is that this is a blessing because for years, when you've grown up in Detroit, you know what the city of Detroit has always been about. It's been about the Motor City. It's been about cars. It's been about arts and craft. And I can't thank the mayor enough for bringing Miss Rochelle Riley on board to move this forward, because I've talked to my partners on the Entertainment Commission, our chair, Gwen Scales. I got Rochelle Riley on my mind so much, but it's just an honor, some of the things that we'll be doing, not only in my district, but throughout the city of Detroit. So, Mr. Mayor, I can't thank you enough, and Ms. Rochelle Riley, I can't thank you enough. And the artists, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so very much.
If we don't have questions from the floor, then we'll just do whatever the media needs us to do. But let me thank you again for coming, and know that if I haven't been to your studio or your home or your place where you work, I'm coming. Carlos, I'm coming to you first. And if you need me, you can call me anytime. Everybody in the city has my cell phone number. Thank you again, and you can also watch this broadcast, and we'll be sending it out on our social media channels on Detroit Public Television. Thank you. So I want to thank Rich Homburg and the fabulous staff at Detroit Public Television for that. And once again, I want to thank Peter Cummings and Platform and the Beauty Shop for this space and for letting us be here today. Did I miss anything? Are we good? Coffee and cake. Thank you very much.